Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
shot! Off the post, score!
First right kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone.
Before the snow falls in New England tonight, we welcome you inside Adelaide Arena in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. It is the 2023 Rhode Island High School Hockey Playoffs. It is a preliminary round matchup between the Mount St. Charles Mounties and the East Greenwich Avengers. Matt Gillis in the broadcast booth with you this evening here on Fans Only Sports Network. We thank you so much for tuning in wherever you might be around the region, around the country, around the world. We thank you for being a part of our broadcast this evening. We hope that if you are in the Ocean State in the New England region, you are safe and warm. We know that there is about 6 inches of snow projected to be dumped on this area over the course of the next 24 hours. As they are going to announce the starting lineups for tonight's game, the East Greenwich Avengers go first. Then the Mount St. Charles Mounties will have the national anthem and play. We will pause and let you hear Adelaide Arena PA announcer Eric Lombardi with the announcements.
With the city of our national anthem, a God legendary quarterback, the one the only is the Greenwich Boys.
after 2 rounds of games between the teams, after about 20 games in the regular season, you can take the record books after 130 plus games and throw them out the window. At this point, it's the playoffs. The regular season means absolutely nothing. It's a matter of what you do in the next 45 minutes that will define everything. And it's a single elimination game. If you win, you get the quarterfinals. If you lose, your season is done and you lament what you could have accomplished. For Mount St. Charles, it was an auspicious start to the beginning of the season. They're just surprised and happy they're here. For EG, they expected to be higher than they are. Still there, finding themselves in the playoffs. Moses Brown and North Kingstown are eliminated. They did not make it into the top 10. These two teams did, and we're underway in the first period. Tonight's first period is brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information, and by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com today. Mount St. Charles in the traditional home whites. EG in the road maroons. And Owen Skodris in net tonight for Mount St. Charles. Noah Schnenga for the East Greenwich Avengers. For the 9 of Kyle Smolin. Smolin lifts one and Schnenga gets the pad to it. Check back again. Smolin through again, and another attempt that came from Braden Slack. Nothing doing there as Schnenga kicked it away. Good start for the Mounties here in this first period. That one scooted right past the stick of Sonny Arsenault. In the corner for the 17 of Nate Murray. It's pushed along by Slack. Looking back to the corner for Murray, Arsenault steps in front of that one defensively. Cam Souza along the backside board. Souza flicks this one out for Slack. Slack holds, fires, deflection. Right in front came from Murray. And another shot as Murray flicked that one from the opposite corner right on Schnenga. Souza keeps this one in the frame for the Mounties, and then it's cleared all the way down. We're going to get a whistle, and icing will be the call. 13:08 left to go here in the first. There is legend and history inside of this building in terms of Rhode Island high school hockey. 32 state championship banners that hang on the sides of this Adelard Arena wall, including a record 24 in a row at one point. A lot of those, many of those, almost all of those under the direction of the late legendary Bill Belisle. Off of the sideboards, EG has only been able to dump into the zone, as once again it's Smolin working this one out alongside with Dumas and the 12 of Colton Lawrence. Off of the backside glass, this one will come all the way down, and an icing will be called once again, and the only opportunity for PJ Casey was to clear the zone. Mike Healy to the faceoff circle against the aforementioned Colton Lawrence. Or check that, it may be the 11 of Logan Lefebvre. It is the 11 of Logan Lefebvre. As Lefebvre beats Healy on that one, back to Dumas at the blue line. Sorry, back to Souza at the blue line, and Souza sends that one down around the backside boards. Picked up by EG, moved out of the zone. First time tonight we've seen them get a good motion through the neutral zone. Chase Pascalis as he dropped one for Mike Healy. Healy continues that one in the offensive zone. Shot and a kick save by Skodris. Scoots back in front, Max Rusov. Rusov will flip that one through the neutral zone for Greg Pyatt. Pyatt and Rusov try to fight that one down in the corner, but the EG defense, led by Joey Andriozzi, send it down, and we get another whistle for icing and another stoppage of play. Days gone by, this arena would be packed to its gills with not a single stitch of concrete to be able to stand on. Still a decent crowd in the house tonight. In a very different atmosphere, a preliminary round game leading into the quarterfinals. Single elimination games tonight. Quarterfinals will start on Friday in a best-of-3 series. The semis and finals, a Frozen 4 format this year, as it will be single elimination semifinals followed by the final. All of those games to be held at Schneider Arena on the campus of Providence College. Off of the side boards right at the neutral zone, they're going to say that was just a cross. And Luke Smolin on the opposite side from Mount let it go. This one will get pushed back into the zone by Braden Slack. Mount's going to try to use it to their advantage for a line change. Popped in, delayed off sides as it went off of Smolin. He was trying to look for his brother, Kyle Smolin. Through the neutral zone, John Kiernan. Kiernan for Arsenault. Arsenault gets bodied out of the play by Harrison Dumas, and Dumas off of Smolin sends that one all the way down into the back boards. Looped back around. Dumas switched to the opposite side. Dumas gets crushed in by Peter Dorley. Harrison Dumas, by height, may be one of the smallest players on the ice. By stature of play, certainly not, as Dumas calls right in front of Schnenga and almost had that one through. 10 and change left to go here in the first. As the puck will deflect up off of the glass once again, chased back by Souza. As right on top of it was Pascalis, and Skodris comes out to block it away. Mike Tober, arm up, offside called. Tonight's game on Fans Only Sports Network brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information, and by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com. Wingers encroaching a little too far on the circle. We'll get a whistle and a talking to from the referee before we resume play. Lenny Kiernan for Tober. Greg Pyatt as he dumped that one down, looking for Logan Lefebvre. Calling for it back at the top is Ty Carroll. That one got sent across by Rusov. Chipped through the neutral zone. Tober sent that one down. No one there except for Luke Smolin in white and red and blue. And he sends that one all the way back down. Collision between two Mount players, and we're going to get a whistle and an icing call. And a stoppage of play, 9 and change left to go. No score here in this first period of action. There'll be the short 2-minute intermission in between the conclusion of this first and second. We'll get a cut of the ice in between the second and third, as is standard in high school hockey. Cracked at in the neutral zone. Timothy Madden for EG. Pulling one was the 5 of Cale Dunwoody, just wide, after he got a poke from Mike Healy to send it over. This is going to come all the way down and icing the opposite way now by Mount. Cale Dunwoody, first big opportunity of the game. for the Avengers here in this first period. So face-off to Skodris' left, as it'll kick around the backboards for Dumas. Dumas sent that one over for Lawrence. Tic-tac-toe for the 9 of Smolin as he fires one through traffic. It hits the backside boards. Arsenault tried to pull it along. Gets it to the opposite side for Ignante. That one sent back into the neutral zone will be picked up by Arsenault again as he wraps over with Pascalis, and the two of them will come off for a line change. Dump and chase all the way down for the Avengers, but Mount picks it up and carries that one through the zone. Dumas collides in with the 11 of Kiernan, which takes him to the ice. Smolin in center. Pops up off the top of his stick. Andriozzi has it. Joey Andriozzi sends one, and that one deflects off of the side of Tyler Carroll's leg. A mishandle back at the blue line from Dorley. Would have put EG offside, but instead they just peel it back. Up high and chopped down. And are we going to get a high sticking call? Played with a high stick. And the puck will come inside of the Mount St. Charles offensive zone. Face-off won by the Avengers. This will carry them all the way down. It will be shepherded by Skodris. Took a weird bounce, and he'll go ahead and pin that one to the ice. So face-off to Skodris' left. Halfway gone by here in this first period. No score on the board between these two sides. Plenty of fire and fervor between these two teams. If not evident during the season, evident tonight in this game. Most of the Mount student body, a large portion of it, out here in style tonight, trying to will their team to the next round of the playoffs. Barrington and Smithfield underway from Portsmouth Abbey. That is the other preliminary round game this evening, as that one will be sent and caught by Schnenga for a save on the attempt from Antonio Lombardi. We will get to updates as we go through the course of the evening. That game started a little bit earlier than we did here. As this one gets pulled into the corner, trying to set it up was Lefebvre. Instead, it tracks all the way down. Icing will be the call once again. This one will track off of the sideboards, comes back for the 23 of Luke Smolin. As he looked there for Ty Carroll dangerously, as that one almost got ticked off. End of the second period of play. Barrington 5, Smithfield 1. That is not what I expected. But as it stands, no score here in this game. 5 and change remaining in this first period. for the 8 of Greg Pyatt. Pushes that one for Luke Smolin. Smolin tried to wrap it around the backside. Instead, it gets scooped up and brought back to the blue line, Matt Madden, and that one is kicked away by Skodris. Good attempt there from Arsenault to try to push it back into an open space, looking for Chase Pascalis. It bounces off and across the blue line, picked back up by Arsenault as it's kept in by Andriozzi. Skodris lays out and will get that one stopped for a save. .504 left to go here with a face-off to Skodris' right. Can be won and moved by Kyle Smolin. Round the backside boards. Stopped there by Schnenga. Schnenga left it for PJ Casey. Mount came diving into the zone with the 2 of Harrison Dumas and tried to pluck that one out. Kicked all the way back at the blue line. Jack Potter moves that one forward. Shepherded by Schnenga, left for Casey. It deflects off of Cale Dunwoody as it was looked back at for Casey once again. Instead, it's Smolin in the corner. Smolin for Dumas. Dumas will leave that one for Colton Lawrence. Lawrence, as he tries to peel this one back, has nowhere to go. 3 maroon jerseys in front of him. Back at him front, Smolin shot and a huge save by Schnenga. That was point blank from Smolin. Luke Smolin from the blue line as he works with Lombari and Ty Carroll. Dumped down in the corner for Nate Murray. Murray back to Smolin once again. Smolin fired. That one was deflected. Schnenga had to snag it out of the air. If you're just tuning in, 0-0 here. 4 minutes left to go in the first. That one popped up over top and moved for a moment by Pascalis. Sent down into the backside boards once again. Pascalis as he goes toe-to-toe with Ty Carroll. For the 17 of Matt Madden, sends that one forward for Andriozzi. Andriozzi onto the stick of Healy, and that one is poke checked away by a couple of Mount defenders, and in Healy once again an opportunity. Pascalis shepherded that one back to the blue line, taken off and moved by Carroll for the 17 of Nate Murray, and they'll go line change for the Mounties. 3 and change left to go. Overtime rules apply differently here in the playoffs this year should we reach the end of regulation in a tie game, and we will obviously get that explanation to you as we get later on into the evening, dependent upon how the remaining 30 minutes of this game will be played. Off of the stick of the 22 of Cam Souza, and they're going to say no, it was not. It was off the board. And we'll get an icing and a face-off down in the East Greenwich zone. Souza. Lawrence right off of Schnenga's pads. Popped back in the neutral zone. Dunwoody ties up there with the 19 of Jack Potter. Still fighting for it at the blue line. Smolin has it. Smolin tried to slot that one through a little hole And a good defensive stop. Shot score! It popped off of Tim Madden. Colton Lawrence finds the loose biscuit and pops it upstairs. The oven is open and Mount is cooking. It's 1-0 Mounties. Colton Lawrence from the 9 of Kyle Smolin, the 2 of Harrison Dumas. Lawrence gets the goal. Smolin and Dumas the assists. And Mount on the board. 1-0. Ty Carroll, that one off of Schnenga's pads. Put back attempt there came from the 23 of Luke Smolin. Trapped back by Slack. That one hit the crossbar. Clang of the iron from Braden Slack. Nate Murray in the corner in the final 1:20 to go here in this first. Lombari whacked away Pascalis' stick. Or sorry, that might be, yeah, that is the 18 of PJ Casey. My apologies. Or check it. No, it was the 19 of Chase Pascalis. Little curled up there on the sleeves and caught us by surprise. That was Chase Pascalis, and a good stop from Antonio Lombari on Pascalis. Mike Healy to the circle against Logan Lefebvre. A win by EG for the 9 of Tober. Tober gets pushed into the backboards. Will wrap around himself. Bumped there by Jack Potter and off of the puck. Tober continued to fight with that one against Potter and pick it up before Lefebvre gets in the way and pokes this one. It'll come out of the zone on a pass from Souza. As Souza sends that one into the corner there for the 14 of Max Rusov for a moment. This one's going to pop all the way back. Cam Souza will chase it. Icing will get called. If you didn't catch it when we mentioned it earlier, end of the second period at Portsmouth Abbey. Barrington 5, Smithfield 1. We'll keep you updated on that game as we go through the course of things here. They started about half an hour before we did here, so we should have a handle on that game and a final before we even get to the end of things here. Ty Carroll at the blue line in the final 15 seconds to go here in the first. Off of Lawrence, still a loose puck, still loose. Penalty called. And the horn will sound. And what is the call on the penalty? They called 7 red. Sonny Arsenault, 2-minute minor for direct contact to the head. We are through one period of play. 1-0 Mount after one. You're watching Rhode Island High School Hockey on Panzoli Sports Network.
The ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Dumps in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone. That is a touchdown.
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
First try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score!
As we welcome you back and get set for second period action here from Adelaide Arena, Sonny Arsenault right at the buzzer. 2-minute penalty for hooking. And the Mounties leading 1-0 will start this second period on a power play. And this one will get sent all the way back. Pops up on Skodris, and he will hold that one for a save. Tonight's second period brought to you by Joseph Lamy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlamy.com for more information. And by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of rreliterecruits.com. Mount on the power play with Antonio Lombari. Lombari, as he carries that one into the zone, gets pinned along the boards. We'll get a little bit of help there from Smolin. Smolin pokes that one down into the corner. It'll be looked at for Braden Slack. Slack lost his twig. And the puck will be pushed all the way back out into the neutral zone. Colton Lawrence has the goal for the Mounties. Dumps that one down into the corner. Goes off of the backside of Antonio Lombari. And Lombari will hold this one across the backside line for Luke Smolin. Smolin and Lombari to Lawrence. Colton Lawrence fires one, and that one hit post. Back once again, sliding through, loose puck right in front. Opportunity if it could get flicked on by Smolin. He can't get to it, neither could the 16 of Braden Slack. Long distance attempt from Lombari. That one hit traffic. Joey Andriozzi tried to peel that one away for EG. That one's again a long distance attempt from Lombari, just wide of the net. Lombari back for a third. Holds this one. Looks as he's bothered there by the 10 of Andriozzi. Peeled back and pushed off the stick of the 23 of Luke Smolin. It will come around on the backside, and Mount will go for a line change with 20 seconds left to go here. And the advantage is that one is then flicked up into the Mount bench. We'll get a stoppage of play. "19 seconds remaining in the advantage. So at about the 13-minute mark, this one will come to a conclusion. Face-off won by Lenny Kiernan. Kiernan sends that one down, clears the zone, and perhaps clears the power play as a huge hit from Mike Tober into the side of the 22 of Cam Souza. Harrison Dumas. Penalty is expired. We're back to five-a-side hockey. Cycled through, a little bit of a whack to the back. Lefebvre and the 7 of Sonny Arsenault having issues with each other, and Lefebvre is going to get called. So Logan Lefebvre will go to the box. 2-minute minor for slashing. And we'll get a face-off down in the East Greenwich Avengers offensive zone. This will go to the left. Our apologies. Actually, no, I will check that. It will go to the left of Skodris. There was some confusion amongst the players. And they're going to have a conversation with the Wingers now tell him stay out of the circle. Arsenault against Lombari. As the puck is dropped in EG on a power play. Tober. Casey. Around the backside boards for Arsenault. Mike Healy. Lombari poked it past Healy, and it's going to go all the way down. EG will start this one out of the zone as Healy brings it across on the opposite side. Reached there for Tober. Tober will drop that one back for Casey. Casey from the blue line could only get it to the top of the circle. Tober tries to push that one any further. Along the backside boards goes Healy. 1:08 left to go, and the advantage as Casey fires one kicked away by Skodris. Second attempt redirected by Arsenault as that came from the 18 of Casey outside. And Skodris kicked it away. 50 seconds remaining in the advantage as it's pushed by Jack Potter all the way down. Corralled by Schnenga as EG tries to move up the side boards. Matt Madden gets laid in by Colton Lawrence, and then Lawrence almost had an opportunity for a shorthanded on the board deflection from Souza. Souza fires just over top of the crossbar. 20 seconds remaining on the penalty to Logan Lefebvre. Colton Lawrence. Lawrence can't peel that one away. Instead, it's peeled away by Andriozzi, and he'll send that one all the way down. Line change for EG on the power play here for the next 2 seconds. Lefebvre's out of the box, and we play five-a-side hockey, and right back into the midst of the play goes Logan Lefebvre. Kyle Smolin out there along with Antonio Lombari, and now they'll switch lines. So it's Lombari along with the 17 of Murray. They go with the 23 of Luke Smolin. Luke Smolin inside. That one went up over top of Schnenga. Came down craftfully on the opposite side for EG. As they tried to move that one through, only as far as the blue line could go. Nate Murray pushes it back in. Long distance attempt off the edge of Schnenga's glove. Good attempt that came from the 25 of Ty Carroll. Back for Carroll at the blue line. Carroll, little wrist flick, and he looked to that one for Lombari. Lombari, as he continues to try to poke check it through, looking for Braden Slack. Slack and Lombari battle in the corner, as up upon them approaches the 12 of Lenny Kiernan. Off the sideboards, this one will horseshoe all the way down, and a whistle will give us icing and a stoppage of play with 9:36. Tonight's game is brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information. It is now 12 minutes left to go in regulation. 7-2 Barrington over Smithfield. As we'll keep you apprised of that one as we go on. 9 left to play here in the second. Dumas tried to work that one on the blue line with Souza. Popped back up for Potter. Cross to the opposite side for Souza. Souza trying to send it up, and it's poked back deep into the mount zone by Tober. Off of the stick of the 14 of Max Rusov, right at the red line area. Negated any offsides or icing that would have been called. Carroll for Lefebvre. Lefebvre in a foot race there with the 18 of Casey. Arsenault as he fights that one with Rusev on the side, taken away instead by Madden. Madden flips that one around to the opposite side. Arsenault switches sides and sends one that gets caught into the zone. Boy! It got caught in the pads of Smolin and it popped back out. And it landed on Sonny Arsenault's stick in a little floater flick over top of Skodra's glove. Honors even at 1. And Sonny Arsenault ties it up. The assists come from Brignante and Dorley. The goal by Sonny Arsenault, and we're level at 1. Loose twig on the ice will be retained by the 12 of Lenny Kiernan, and that attempt from Slack gets kicked up into the netting by Noah Schnenga. Two of the quarterfinal series are set, as we know that Cumberland will play Prout, Warwick will play Burrillville. The other two are not set. Those are the ones that are to be decided as to who will play LaSalle and Hendricken. The result will come off of these two games tonight. Though they are directed into the bracket, therefore being come post of this game, we will say the winner of this game receives into that bracket. With a 7-2 scoreline in Barrington, it seems like that one may be a foregone conclusion. There is much to still be settled here. The winner of the Barrington-Smithfield game gets Bishop Hendricken. The winner of this game gets LaSalle. For the 22 of Souza. Delayed offsides negated. 6 and change remaining here as Rusev collides on the boards with the 15 of Peter Dorley. And that one was a rifle into the Mount bench. They're still looking for the puck. I'm surprised it didn't take a chunk out of the wall while they were at it. Seen a few Warwick hockey jackets walking around inside Adelaide Arena tonight. Not entirely sure why they would want to be here watching this game. They wouldn't see either of these sides until at least if they made it to the final game. They're on the opposite side of the bracket from these boys. for the 14 of Rusov. Rusov thrown down to the ice by Casey, no call. And he was thrown to the ice. Pascalis for Healy. Comes right through. That one sat on the stick of Souza right in front, and he was able to work it away. Dangerous play there as he was in front of his own net. Onto the stick of the 17 of Matt Madden, and then this one. Arsenault has to track it all the way back around. Can't get it clear of the zone, as instead it landed onto the stick of Aiden Quinn. Or, my apologies, check that. It's the 16 of Braden Slack. Lombari had his deflect off of him. Comes back for Souza. Dorley wipes out in the neutral zone. Lombari went to poke it away. Souza off of him for Dunwoody. Kyle Smolin, and that one goes off of the backside boards. Will ricochet around. EG tried to clear the zone and only got as far as neutral ice. Colton Lawrence mishandled attempt there. Dunwoody the other way. Open net as he had drawn. Skodras. Backhander Lawrence. That one will get covered by Schnanga. Tonight's game on Fans Only Sports Network brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information, and by RR Elite Recruits with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. Where athletes are going to play the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com. Pushed along the side boards was Mike Healy, right in front of the penalty boxes. Ty Carroll on the back side for the Mounties as they go to exit the zone. Kyle Smolin dumped down in the corner. Dumas for Lawrence once again. Lawrence tried to flick that one. It goes offside of the body of Lenny Kiernan. Kiernan fights for it and will send that one deflecting off of the glass. Past Carroll and all the way down. Lefebvre. For Kyle Smolin. Check that for Greg Pyatt. As the Smolins went for a line change, and it's Pyatt working on the side with Rusov and Lefebvre. 2 and change left to go here in the second period. We'll get the longer intermission for the resurface of the ice before we play the third. Mount scored a goal in the first period in the last minute of the period, so they are potentially in place. They would like to get one again and go into this intermission with a little bit of a lead. As we go inside of the final 2 to play here in this second. Carried here by the 16 of Slack. Braden Slack gets bumped into the boards by both the 9 of Tober and the 17 of Madden. Smolin, a wrist flick to Slack, comes all the way back out to Carroll. 90 seconds to intermission. Carroll drops one on the opposite side, and it's off for Murray. That one came off the line, and it's picked up and pushed away by Pascalis. Through a little bit of snow in front of the Mount bench for Arsenault. Arsenault curls that one to the corner. We'll flick it around the back side. Smolin's going to pick this one up in the last minute to go here in the second period. Smolin for Slack. Slack potted out of the play by Madden. Madden pushes it around. Got to Lombardi. Off Lombardi for Andriozzi. Onto the stick of Rignante. Rignante into the shin pads of the 19 of Jack Potter. And it will get pushed around by Mount. Smolin has one more chance here. 30 seconds to go. Loop pass for Dumas. Streaking through his ball. Dumas goes down. They're going to call a penalty. Tripping call coming up on East Greenwich with 23 seconds left to go in the period. And this is going to put the Mounties, barring a goal in 23 seconds, on the power play to start the third. Peter Doorley goes to the box. Welcome to the playoffs, folks. Bryce Baxter. Or not. That may have been the 9 of Solon in the circle. That was, and he's getting pushed around a little bit too much. This one will pop back for Luke Smolin. Right in front, orange sounds as it's poked by Smolin off of the post. 1-1 after 15 minutes of regulation left to come, but they'll resurface the ice first. You're watching the Rhode Island High School Hockey Playoffs on Fans Only Sports Network.
The ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
The ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
The ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
The ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot Off the post, score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
In, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
In, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
Let's try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone!
Third period from Adelard Arena. Mount St. Charles 1, EG 1. Mount in the first, EG in the second. Barrington has defeated Smithfield 7-3. They will advance into the quarterfinal round and play the Bishop Hendricken Hawks on Friday evening at Thayer Arena in Warwick, Rhode Island. The winner of this game will advance to the quarterfinal round and play the LaSalle Academy Rams on Friday evening at Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. The Smithfield Sentinels season has concluded. They are now no longer involved in the playoffs. One team's season will conclude either in the next 4 minutes and 15 seconds or in an amount of overtime should the score stand. 42 seconds left remaining on the power play for the Mounties, as Tober will take this one back through the neutral zone. Picked up instead by Colton Lawrence. Lawrence carries through, drops one for Smolin. Smolin, wrist flick saved by Schnenga as bodies go flying across the mouth of the goal. Getting dropped down was Lombari, and then Lombari hit as he was down on the ice, and now down again is the 17 of Matt Madden, and his twig slides away as well. And the physicality of this game is certainly going to pick up as we go through this third period. Tonight's third period on Fans Only Sports Network brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit Joseph Lamy, LAMY.com for more information. And by RR Elite Recruits with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com. Loose puck still, but they're going to say Schnanga had it. And a face-off will come with 4 seconds left to go in the advantage. There are 2 Division II games in action tonight. West Warwick, Exeter West Greenwich against Cranston West. And then North Smithfield taking on Coventry. Those games set up quarterfinal matchups as well in this new playoff format for 23 here in the Ocean State. Logan Lefebvre on the backside boards. This one is spun around and will be carried out of the zone by Pascalis wide of everything. Sonny Arsenault has the goal for EG back in the second period. Loops one around for Tober. Mike Tober will flip that one for Peter Dorley. Dorley down into the corner once again. It'll pop off of the side of the stick of the 8 of Greg Pyatt. For the 19 of Jack Potter off of Schnanga's pads. Off of Lawrence's skates, and then will finally be flicked out of the zone. Leading pass for Mike Healy. Icing will be the call, and a stoppage of play. There will be days to think and reflect and work on this one for the winning side as they play these games on a Monday night. Game 1 of the quarterfinals will be on Friday night. Whoever wins from this side, Mount St. Charles or East Greenwich, will go on the road for Game 1 at Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink against the LaSalle Academy Rams, and then will host Game 2 in what is a best-of-3 quarterfinals series. Colton Lawrence through the neutral zone himself as Lawrence dispatches with the body of the 10 of Andrew Izzy, and then all sorts of tie-ups and a shot. Loose puck still moved around on the back of his legs, and it's kicked aside by Schnanga. Now there's a huge hit, and that's Harrison Dumas into the boards, and a player from EG on top of him, and all sorts of fisticuffs occur. Well. Mount head coach Matt Merton was on top of the boards. Certainly not exactly happy with the calls or lack thereof from the gentleman in stripes. Over top of Souza's stick, Jack Potter. As they looked for Lombari, it comes back instead once again for Souza. Poked along by Murray. Souza off of the gloves of Dorley. He was looking to try to get Braden Slack down in the corner. That's an icing, and we'll get a whistle. A stoppage of play and a puck back in the EG defensive zone. Game 1s of the quarterfinal series around the Ocean State on Friday. If you were a Home Ice Pass member during the regular season, the Home Ice Pass carried the regular season. It does not carry the playoffs. And you'll need to purchase your playoff games separately from the home ice pass to be able to watch the playoffs. For home ice pass members, we'll reactivate the home ice pass upon the conclusion of the playoffs for you to be able to access all games from the season on demand throughout the course of the spring and summer and fall leading into next year's season. For the 10 of Andriozzi, back for Lefebvre. Lefebvre got wiped out. No call from the referees as Andriozzi and the 15 of Durley colliding with Lefebvre. Jack Potter. 9 and change left to go here in regulation. It is the playoffs, so someone must win, and we'll see an overtime should the score stand. Mount St. Charles has a history of playoff overtimes throughout its entire legendary, storied institutional history, and in fact has overtime legend here on Fans Only Sports Network as well. For the 3 of Garrett Carney, as that one was spun off of him. Back for Nate Murray. Murray across. Back for Carney. Carney deflects that one off the boards. Will get kicked back by Potter. Calling for it was the 9 of Tober. Carney will poke that one all the way back down. Picked up by Tober as he won the foot race. For Arsenault, shot attempt from Pascalis, kicked aside by Skodras. Pinned into the corner. And out of the corner, Andriozzi. Skodras makes the save. One of the very first playoff games ever to be broadcast on this network, back when it was known as SFBN Rhode Island, was a game here at Adelard Arena against Mount St. Charles. That game went overtime. And Nick LeBlanc and Nick Carlson had a surprising call for Mount St. Charles in that overtime game in our very first playoff ever to be done. Here we are in the playoffs in Season 3. Now as Fans Only Sports Network, our second season. And now it's going to bounce in for a goal! A weird draw play. And a bit of a bobbler. And all of a sudden, the 10 of Joey Andriozzi has his Greenwich in the lead 2-1. That may be the most bizarre goal you'll see this season. Eight and change left to go here in regulation. Arsenault is going to get the assist. Arsenault a goal and an assist on the day. Andriozzi has a goal. EG leads 2-1. Colton Lawrence struck first for Mount back in the first. Schnenga shepherds that one behind his net. A wrist flick from Tober for Kiernan. Kiernan gets rubbed out of the play, and Smolin is able to take that one away. Kyle Smolin with a bit of speed. Smolin through 3 red jerseys. Harrison Dumas will poke it to the corner. Mount will try to settle. PJ Casey on the backside boards for EG. to the 11 of Kiernan. Back for Casey. Once again, Casey from the blue line. That one's going to go wide. Pascalis. As Casey and Dorley work this one. And line changes quickly again for EG. Arsenal Pascalis are already back out on the ice alongside that 10 of Andriozzi. So the line that just scored, a little bit of time out on the ice comes off, and about 15-20 seconds later, it's right back out on the ice. Arsenault from distance. That one goes past Skodras. Hits off the Zamboni doors and corrals back. 6.5 left to go. Matt Madden. Lombari in the corner. This one peeled back for Smolin. Luke Smolin to Ty Carroll, and that one gets deflected up high and wide. Bounces off of the body of Slack. Smolin, hard hit into the boards. For Nate Murray. Murray, 4 red jerseys around him. Murray comes into the boards. Murray is pinned and held to the boards by the 15 of Dorley. No call from the officials. Again into the boards goes the 17 of Murray and the 15 of Dorley. Murray, Dorley again. For Lawrence. Taken away by Tober. Tober flips that one up over top of everybody. Tober, wraparound, loose puck in front, kicked away by the Mount defense. Here's Smolin off to the races. Smolin shot and a glove save by Schnenga. For the 12 of Lenny Kiernan. Kept in by Souza. Big hits along the boards, and the puck comes free for Healy. That one bounced off of Skodras and had him thinking for a second, where was it? Andriozzi fires off of Skodras' stick. It hits outside of the glass into the seats. 4 and change remaining. Tonight's game on Fans Sports Network brought to you by Joseph Lammy, attorney at law, 696 Reservoir Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island. Visit josephlammy.com for more information, and by RR Elite Recruits with access to 3,000 schools, 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by being a part of RREliteRecruits.com. Would have been offsides for the Avengers. That one was negated as Mount pushed the puck to the opposite side of the line. Braden Slack chases that one into the corner as it's moved around by Matt Madden. For Ty Carroll to Antonio Lombari. Lombari will get hit hard into the boards from Arsenault and the 5 of Cale Dunwoody and be dispossessed of the puck. Shot saved by Skodras. Line change again for EG, so 2 for Mount with 4 and change to go. Winner of this game will get the number 2 seeded LaSalle Rams Friday night at Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. Game 2 would be Saturday, or we believe so, at the home site of whichever side. Skodras' second save again, as that one came from the 18 of Casey right from the blue line. Dumas off the side of the skates of Kiernan. Dumas will wrap it around. Dumas, front, Smolin, shot, bounce, no! Kicked away at the last second. Pascalis offside. Noah Schnanga just went ape and kicked away what looked to be a goal that was about to slide its way in. And he's getting daps from every single one of his teammates in red. On the side, 3:43 remaining. This is what a playoff game is supposed to be. (7-3) Barrington over Smithfield. That's a final. Barrington will play against Bishop Hendricken in the quarterfinal round. Warwick plays Burrville. Cumberland plays Prout. LaSalle plays the winner of this game. Right now standing to be the East Greenwich Avengers. Logan Lefebvre. Lefebvre right over top of the crossbar. Clicks off of the stick of Luke Smolin and will come all the way back for Ty Carroll. Pushed by Greg Pyatt. Pyatt sends that one into the corner. Rusov goes down, and colliding at the boards was Smolin along with a couple of EG players. Arsenault comes away with that one. We'll send it all the way down. This one will be whistled for icing and a stoppage of play, 2:57. We're getting into that territory. Will there be a timeout called by Matt Merton soon, or will he let this one play? And when do we see Owen Skodras come to the bench? Off of the sideboards, Tober all the way down, icing once again. Mount has had plenty of chances here within the period, within all three periods, to be able to put goals on the board, more than the one that they got from Colton Lawrence in the first. They have had about 4 shots ding off of the iron tonight as well. Wrap around attempt, small, and no! Another kick save by Schnanga for the 22 of Souza. Souza tries to wrap around, dops it for Lawrence. That one off of the edge of the post, and a save by Schnanga. If this game stands, you may have to give player of the game to Noah Schnanga, because he has been absolutely ridiculous in net tonight. Kyle Smolin, face-off to Souza. Right back for Smolin again in the slot. Colton Lawrence will try to pull that one off of the backside boards. Cannot. Pops out. Carried away by Andriozzi. Joey Andriozzi on his own, save by Skodras. Harrison Dumas will pick that one up with 2 minutes left to go here in regulation. Dumas flicks that one down into the corner, looking for Smolin. Smolin has to try to beat out Dorley. They do, right in front, poked away. Andriozzi diving for it, Smolin diving for it. No call for the referees. Lawrence has it on the backside boards. 1:45. Skodras started to skate out a little bit, skates back in. Sonny Arsenault has it. He'll send it all the way into the student section. And we'll get a face-off down in the East Greenwich zone. And I think Matt Merton's going to call timeout. He will. 1:39 left to go. 2-1 East Greenwich over Mount St. Charles. Timeout here from Adelard Arena.
Game On mouthguards. Game On mouthguards have superior shock absorbency, are impervious to viruses and bacteria, and also is the only mouthpiece ever to earn the American Dental Association's seal of acceptance.
Back here at Adelard Arena, Game reset for you. 1:39 to go. Colton Lawrence in the first. Sonny Arsenault in the second. Joey Andriozzi in the third. 2-1 East Greenwich. Owen Skodris out of the net. Face off to the right of Noah Schnenga. 6-on-5 for the Mount St. Charles Mounties. Peeled in the corner, Andriozzi for the 20 of Mike Healy at neutral ice. Arsenault pops over top of his stick. Ty Carroll can't find it for Smolin. Smolin to Dumas. 1:20 left to go. That one's going to come all the way down. Icing called. If EG scores on the empty net, that likely will be it. If Mount scores, we've got a whole lot of things to talk about. Arsenault against Smolin. Face-off, won by Lawrence, pulls it to the corner, lost a handle on it as he was bumped there by Mike Healy for a second. This one goes back to Casey. Stopped by Lawrence. Lawrence fired. That went through traffic all the way down. No, icing. Timeout, East Greenwich. 59 seconds.
Game On mouthguards. Game On mouthguards have superior shock absorbency, are impervious to viruses and bacteria, and also is the only mouthpiece ever to earn the American Dental Association's seal of acceptance.
East Greenwich calls timeout, and 59 seconds remaining in regulation. Net still empty to our broadcast left. A date on Friday with the LaSalle Academy Rams at Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink awaits. However this game ends, Sonny Arsenault against the 9 of Kyle Smolin. Face off to the corner, Dumas. Back for Luke Smolin. Ty Carroll. Carroll right over top of the crossbar. It ricochets back. Dumas tries to get it. That one comes across the blue line. Mount has to backtrack. Fired in on Schnenga, and he holds on to it for a stoppage of play. "44 seconds. Lefebvre. That one goes back off of everybody. It hits onto the body of the 7 of Arsenault. Caught up in Ty Carroll's legs. Lawrence trying to grab for it. That one came right back in front. Flip shot. Where is it? There's no goal. The goal's off of its moorings. There's going to be a discussion between the referees. Did the puck go into the net before the net was knocked off of its moorings? Did the puck even go into the net at all? And they're going to say no, and they're going to say face off in the corner. Matt Merton is on top of the boards again. Face off, underneath, touchdown! Antonio Barry! 22 seconds left, it's all tied at 2! Are you kidding me, Lombardi? A playoff highlight reel goal! What an incredible evening at Adelard Arena! He's getting mobbed right now by the 23 of Luke Smolin. Unbelievable! The Mount student section has gone ballistic on the other side of the arena. There is no timeouts left to be called. Oh, they broke the glass. They broke the glass. Look at that mess. That is the shards on the ice. That is the empty spot where the board of glass was. And in all the celebration, they broke the glass. They're going to send the teams to the locker rooms. We're going to have an extended break while they talk to the referees and then while they figure out how to repair the glass that has been broken on the far side of the rink. Antonio Lombardi, 21 seconds left, and this game is tied at 2. You're watching Rhode Island High School playoff hockey on Fans Only Sports Network. We'll be back.
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot Off the post, score!
First try a kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score! Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone.
Matt Jones back here at Adelard Arena. They have replaced the pane of glass. And it looks like they are putting in a double plexi. And they have swept and squeegeed the ice. And from what we have heard, that they have moved the nets out from both sides. They may bring the Zamboni out and Zamboni the ice surface to ensure they get all of the shards of glass up off of the ice. And then we'll resume play. They have sent both teams to the dressing room, and there is 22.7 seconds remaining on the clock. They will not, the referees at least said, do not expire the 22 seconds. They are going to play out the final 22 seconds. And then we will have, barring something bizarre happening, overtime. After Antonio Lombari, with an empty net to the left, scored to knot us at 2. We're going to keep it here on camera so that you can be able to see what's going on. And as soon as the players come back out onto the ice, there is not really much else for us to say from a broadcast perspective at the moment. So we're going to keep the camera here, but we're going to just go ahead and step ourselves as a broadcast team away for the moment. And we'll be back once the players come back out on the ice. 22 seconds left to go. 2-2. Mountain East Greenwich. You're watching the Rhode Island High School Hockey Playoffs on Fans Only Sports Network. tonight. We hope that you have stayed with us as they have fixed the glass, they have swept the ice, and the teams have come back out. "22 seconds remaining here in the third period. If you forgot what happened, Antonio Lombari lit the lamp. 6-on-5 empty net to the left with said 22 seconds remaining, and tied this thing at 2. After Joey Andriozzi had put East Greenwich forward earlier on in the period. Colden Lawrence in the first. Sonny Arsenault in the second, 1-1. Joey Andriozzi in the third, 2-1. Antonio Lombari in the late third, 2-2. The glass broke, and then we had the long delay. Face off at center ice, and we're underway in the final 20 seconds of the period. For the 9 of Mike Tober. Tober in front of the 30 of Skodras, and this one's going to bounce all the way down. Shepherded by Schnenga. Harrison Dumas, 3 seconds. Dumas, oh my God! How is that Dumas? 0.4 seconds. Mel wins! Mel wins! Mel wins! Mount St. Charles will go to the quarterfinals and play the LaSalle Academy Rams on Friday night at Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. 4/10 of a second left. Harrison Dumas. Game. Mount wins. Unreal. Absolute shock and awe by the Mount St. Charles Mounties tonight here at Adelard Arena. 22 seconds left. Antonio Lombari, after the long delay due to the glass breaking, they come back out on the ice. And in a flurry of activity in front of Noah Schnenga, Harrison Dumas finds a slot with 4/10 of a second left and wins the game for the Mount St. Charles Mounties. Mount trailed for almost the entirety of the second half of the third period. And somehow, some way, scores 2 goals in 20 seconds. And they're on to the quarterfinals to play the number 2 seed LaSalle Rams. Game 1, Friday night at Smithfield Municipal Ice Rink. Game 2 will be back here at Adelard. And then, if necessary, Game 3 will shortly follow after that. I am at absolute awe. And I have nothing left to say on this night. That'll do it for us here from Adelard Arena. For our entire Fans Only Sports Network team, Michaela Krupski on camera tonight. I'm Matt Jolas. Thank you so much for tuning in. Highlight clips of this game sure to come on Instagram. Follow us at FOSPORTZ on Instagram. Follow us also for our hockey and lacrosse behind-the-scenes account at ri.hockeylax on Instagram. As always, follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever you have. And as always on the web, fansonlysportz.com. We will see you Friday for the quarterfinals. Mount 3, East Greenwich 2. Good night.